whānau, thank you so much for joining us. League Lounge with Shaun Johnson looks a little different. In fact, it's without Shaun Johnson today, but we have got a great show for you. Shaun's away with his family. We hope they're having a fabulous time. You've got League Lounge with Laura McGoldrick and the fabulous Monty Betham alongside me. Mons, thanks so much for joining us. A big old couple of days for the Kiwi sports fan.
Oh, look, I'll tell you what, the weekend in particular, if you're a rugby league fan, and just watching the first week of finals football, it was crazy. Real proud moments, a bit of emotional cocktail at times because you're disappointed the boys won't be there for week 2, but proud at the same time. And then that game on Sunday, 94 minutes of pure entertainment, theatre. Entertainment, loved it.
Honestly, that was a far easier game to watch, having no skin in the game. 94 minutes, good for them. And they'll be knackered now off the back of it, you know that. But if we look at the Warriors game and their opportunity to make it further in the in finals footy. Look, it was a tough day out, and the scoreline probably didn't suggest exactly what happened on the field. You were there. I was watching it on my phone while talking about the All Blacks. What was it like?
Yeah, I was calling it. It was the second home semi that I've had the pleasure of calling. But I tell you what, for moments here, as you said, the scoreline does not reflect how they were in the game. There was moments there where they looked like they belonged, and they're going head-to-head with the full-time championship premiers in the Panthers. But I tell you what, the crowd was also a big part of that. But in the end, it was just what this side were able to do with so much experience. But just seeing the likes of Leka Halasema get across the line in the centre position, there was a late change in the game as well. But, you know, if you're there in person watching it live, it was crazy. But just tell me, this pass here in particular, is that forward?
Forward, it's forward.
It's
so forward.
Absolutely forward. But, you know, you've got to take all the referees' calls out of the game, but to go 100 metres just to show the class and ability that they've got, you know, probably we're a little bit off the pace there at the back three and not trying to get on that ball a little bit early. The bounce didn't help them, but just the talent to all and just across the board. I think that's their 13th finals win in a row for a number of these players.
They are very good, the Panthers, there's no doubt. But, like, to be honest, if we look at the Warriors and the way they started the season, we were in Vegas and we didn't catch up, which is probably for the best. But if we look at the game, and we look at where we've got to in this season, my nana always said, if somebody offered you that at the start of the season, from where we were to where we've come, how would you rate the season?
I think it's been a successful season. You think about all the what-ifs and what changed. You know, Tohu Harris was a late guy that couldn't come in. You lost Adam Whenua-Blake, you lost Shaun Johnson, and then you also lose someone like Walker just in the last sort of moment, 2 weeks into the competition. But yet, coming down to the last round of regular season, they're in a position to finish 4th, and it could have been so much different. They would have still been playing this week. But with that all happening in terms of the ACLs, the 2 of your key players, to have all these young guys debut and new players play now, and become household names, I think it's been a successful season.
They are building. They are definitely building, which I think is really exciting for next year as well, obviously. But if we have a look at that game again, and defensively, that was one thing that I think you and I spoke about a lot during the season, that their defence continued to grow, the scramble defence. Did they defend like they were playing finals football?
I think they were, and it became a fortress at home for a number of sets. And yes, there was a lot of points scored, but there was a lot of points that weren't having the ability to score because you got players in the picture and were able to stop those moments against wonderful attacking players. You know, when you've got the likes of Cleary there and what he's able to do with these outside backs that play Origin and play international football, it just shows you. But once again, I think the crowd, they should take a bow because they were really part of it, as well as the Warriors just turning up and then just showing that resilience and then just making sure that they were just trying to stop anything that they threw at them. And there was a lot being thrown at them.
There was a lot being thrown at them. Resilience is a word you just said there. Let's talk about our personal play-on moment. Jackson Ford. Now, Jackson Ford had a fantastic season, really. He played his 50th game during the season, but he had some bad luck with injuries, came back, showed his resilience, and then what a shift he put in this game.
Well, he's had 3 weeks off, Laws.
Yes,
so he should be.
So he should have.
We know that Eddie's Goggins, called Goggins because he's one of the fittest men in the world, but same thing for him. You know, like he's a player that played properly, like to have that sort of tackle, 61 in a game, and also be able to have the versatility to go to an edge and play the way he's played. He's scored tries, he does it all. You know, he's the one that the St George Dragons let get away, and we're so glad that was the case because he's been part and parcel of what's made this team so good in the last sort of 3 years underneath Webster.
And there was plenty of other finals footy action for you to wrap your laughing gear around this weekend. Let's take a look at the first game, and that, of course, was the Storm Bulldogs. Monty Betham. Storm are just the Storm, right?
Well, look, at injuries early on to key people. Yeah, Kikau get a cheekbone or eye socket, and that was a bit of a worry. But to have Critter stay on that field through that syndesmosis and go and stay on and not refused to go off. This is a huge loss for this Bulldog side, but yet they kept it close against a team, at home that has a very good victory and win record as well.
So then we've got the Sharks-Roosters. Now, the Roosters were potentially opponents that we could have played, the Warriors. I would have preferred them.
Maybe it should have been the case. I was thinking, I don't want the Roosters. They're too scary, but it wasn't the scary Roosters that turned up. And I think the game in general wasn't the complete game or the game of the same intensity that we've seen with the other finals games in week one. And I think without Hazelton, I think that this side with Adam Fanua-Blake, and they're all happy because it's for the first time in finals week one that they stay in to play on the next week. So they're ecstatic, and they should be.
And it wouldn't be finals footy without getting some headlines out of the game. And boy, oh boy, has this game delivered. We look at Brisbane Broncos and what they managed to do against the Raiders. 94 minutes, goodness gracious me.
The Sharks were watching this and they were saying, go for it, boys, go for it, because they knew they'd take the loser on next week in the second week of finals. But what a game. You look about young talent, and Ethan Strange, who's got a Māori mother, I believe, he could have been playing for the Kiwis. He scored a wonderful try, and just the brilliance that they have. And this kid's not much older himself, and Reece Walsh, and just the last 2 weeks, kicking 2 40-20, scoring a try, just being an absolute menace on the field and just showing his ability. I think in the last 2 weeks, what Reece Walsh was able to do, and this one just missed too, just came off the post. He was clutch. That would have drawn the match. Just shows you the player that he is and how he just wants to be responsible for winning and losing of a game. And this time, he was a big reason to how they won the game. 94 minutes of absolute brilliance.
Walsh has this unique ability, and I don't know it's to do with the toilet water, but his ability to step up when big players have gone. What does that say about the type of player he is?
Well, I think he's fearless.
Because he does some silly stuff.
I think he's fearless. He just wants to step up, and doesn't matter what happened in the moment previous to that. He'll just step up and he'll just take it like it's fresh and like he's got an opportunity to show his God-given talent, his speed, his balls even. Can you say that? Yes, you can.
Yes,
I've already said it.
It's league lunch. We're making our own rules here.
What he's able to do as a player, so gifted, and just beyond his years as well. He's brilliant to watch, and I understand why they're trying to keep him on and because you just want to see the best players playing, and he is one of the hottest players on the planet right now. Right,
well, we're going to take a short break here. You go and make a cup of tea, because when we come back, we're going to celebrate the Warriors winners from 2025.
Holds it, and he tried to delay, and now Kyle Weeks is away. Who's going to run him down? Kyle Weeks is in the clear. Hang on, Mariner gaining. Kyle Weeks will score. Kyle Weeks goes all the way. Listen to this.
That is Dad's Pies, meat pie of the week. Kia ora te whānau, thank you so much for joining us. League Lounge without Shaun Johnson, but Laura McGoldrick and Monty Betham alongside you. Now, Monty, I ask you, that try we just saw there, if you were offered that as a player, finals footy, with a mullet like that, that's dream stuff, isn't it?
You had me at mullet. You had me at hair, I will take it. I will take it. No, actually, I quite like not having any hair, but Kyle Weeks, a talent that was one of 2 tries, an absolute freak, man, to run 100 metres in a finals game and to be just so gifted at a young age. You're still laughing about the hair.
I'm still laughing about the hair. I think you'd look great with a mullet.
Yeah, okay.
Can we draw that up? We're going to need to see what that would potentially look like. I think we should. I think we really should. So at the end of every season, of course, you get together and you celebrate the 2025 season, the season that was, and we are going to celebrate those award winners tonight. And so let us start by taking a look at the Jersey Flegg Team Awards. And now this is crucial. For those who are just learning about how this works, you've got Premiers, first grade, you've got New South Wales Cup, and then you've got your Jersey Flegg boys. And they have done a great job this season. The depth has been tested and they keep delivering.
We've got 13 guys that played in this grade, but also that went up and played in Cup. And we know the outstanding year that they've had. But you look at this team now, Team Man of the Year in Junior Sikavia, who's a wonderful player, who's also a talented player in the 19s as well. JD Oloa, who was Player of the Year. He was the captain in SG Ball just last year, so they're coming through. And Kalis Putoko is a wonderful talent, and the coaching that's in there with TJ Ashford and also David Whainuku. I think the future is bright.
Oh, I think in all of our teams, the pathways look very good at the moment, and huge credit needs to be paid to the coaches and those who are overseeing that whole high-performance pathways for the young players coming through. Let's take a look at the New South Wales Cup awards. Now, this team has been tested as well, obviously, because we've seen a lot of those. They're there, the Players Player of the Year, Tanner Boyd, coming up to first grade, so ready for it. What a season those Cup boys have had.
Yeah, look, Geronimo Doyle is a fan favourite, and he's just one of those players that everyone wants to play around. He's just playing any position. He's a wonderful talent. He's a guy that's on the ground here. He doesn't have the huge accolades of being playing overseas like these others, but having Tanner Boyd going back and playing half a season before he even got a run up at first grade was huge. And of course, Kalani Going, who's just got bloodlines galore. He's a Lulawa and also a Going. He was always going to be an absolute talent, but he's one of those guys that everyone loves to play around, to be around, a wonderful leader, and he was also a player of the New South Wales Cup overall. So congratulations to all three of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to those winners. We move to first grade now, and let's start with Clubman of the Year, Dimitri Vaimawanga. Now, you and I sat together for his first game for the Warriors, and you said this kid is something special. He keeps delivering on that promise.
Yeah, the boy from De La Salle College. Look, there is no better player off the back fence. He's one of the best. We've seen some good ones over the years, but this ball-playing ability, pre-line, post-line, he's got that ability to come off the bench and just create havoc with that second phase. He can run hard. He can tackle hard. I honestly feel that he's a leader of the future. He's very comfortable in his own skin, but over the last 3 years, I've just seen him grow and grow with his leadership, and he just got that all-round ability. There's nothing he lacks, but in time when he gets that ability to play longer minutes and work on that engine, I think he's going to be a huge problem for teams in years to come.
That's very exciting to watch. So is this next award, which of course is the People's Choice Player of the Year. I mean, we all screamed his name a couple of times this season, there's no doubt. Leka Halasima. What a 2025 for this young man.
Oh, he's a freak, and he's loved by all. Over 31 seasons, there's been two guys with the same initials, SJ, Stacey Jones first, and then Shaun Johnson next, that have just been loved by the majority of people. Who's your favourite? And they always say one of those two. But now it's someone like Leka Halasima. He's not yet 20 years of age. He's going to turn that soon, and he's already played, close to 30 games. This kid is an absolute freak. 29 games, in fact. And this try, remember that well in the studio, I almost had an OSH safety requirement.
Yeah,
I was up on my stool. We're all very loud. We're the best screen at all watching this unfold. What he's able to do and how he's able to set, this country alight, and also over there in Australia. But he is a phenomenon. Not a big body, but his ability with that ball in hand is freakish.
That will actually go down as one of my favourite moments watching League with our fabulous Sky crew. We had everyone in that studio. You were up on your chair. I think I broke my chair. Willie was all over the show. It was that was actually one of the great
Honey
moments.
was filming it all.
Honey was filming it all. I'm glad all the cameras weren't on, because if you'd actually seen what we were doing in there, it was...
Yeah.
It was dangerous, but not as dangerous as what Leka was doing. Let's have a look at the Players Player of the Year. And I imagine this is the award that you really want to win as a player. And it's hardly a surprise that it's this man here, Monty.
Well, he's the guy that everyone wants to play alongside. He is the ultimate professional. He's been a club captain before. And just because he doesn't have the C beside his name doesn't mean that he's not leading. He is leading every way. He just comes off that back fence. He carries strong. He starts that ruck speed and momentum with his breaking ankles, but even diffusing situations. He's been in fine form. 12 tries this year, which is the same equal best for him, which is back in the Roosters when he won the premiership that year. A wonderful player in the twilight of his career, but that try is just freakish as well. But when you've got players like that who have got leadership, who are selfless and just a joy to be around. We speak about these young kids coming through with the likes of Fisher Harris and Barnett, huge for your future, your foundations that you lay, but also having someone like him just shows you the correct way, what to do, how to do it. That's great for this club.
And he seems like a great guy in the process, which is pretty cool as well for the club. OK, the Rookie of the Year. And this, I don't think, will be the last time he might win this award this year, because, of course, it's up for Dally M Rookie of the Year as well, Leka Halasima. And you just spoke about it before. At Go Media Stadium, Mount Smart, the crowd noise when this young man comes out, his name gets announced over the PA. They just love him.
Under the post, Leka, under the post.
Come on, Leka, come on. He learned that lesson.
He learned that lesson.
He won't do that again.
But he does that because the boy from Southern Cross campus is an absolute freak. You mentioned how many games he's played already. Simon Mannering has played 301 games. I think this could get up to that point and rival him for that most amount of games, and even potentially player of the year. You know, he's a different skill set to Simon Mannering, but the fact that he can play and be robust and play so many games in this short period of time just shows you that he's one guy that you're going to count on, and I think, you know, it's great they've locked him up for another 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, let's not let him go anywhere, eh?
Please don't.
Idea. Now, you mentioned Simon Mannering there, fitting because it is a final award for the boys, the Simon Mannering Award, and it, of course, goes to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Talk about peeling back the years, his work rate this season. He was simply incredible, and the way he goes about his business, as you alluded to. I mean, this is the 4th time he's won this award, Mons.
Like a red wine, Roger, absolutely outstanding. Averages 220 metres per game. He just breaks ankles. He's one of those guys that you're scared to mark up and face, but he's one of those guys when you look around the change room and you see him across the way, you just feel that much better about your chances of winning, and just, you know, he just makes you want to play for the jumper. You just see firsthand, you know, in his sort of twilight years, he's still able to just turn the clock back. A wonderful human being. He was the favourite in our household a couple of years ago, and I'd say he's be the same now in terms of just loving what he does for the club in the jumper. And
like, if your daughter brought him home, you'd be stoked, right?
Absolutely, right? He's just the best human.
Oh, yeah. He seems like the most delightful human being.
Yeah.
A wonderful role model in so many different ways. A lovely family man.
Yep.
Congratulations. Just congratulations.
Well done, Roger.
Huge
well done, Roger.
To you, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. We're going to take a short break here on League Lounge. There are more winners when we come back.
We are here to celebrate the end of the season. When you look back, how would you describe it for you?
No, it was a season I had a lot of fun in. You know, coming back, and 2024 wasn't the way we wanted it, but 2025 we gave our shot.
And what are you most proud of, both personally and for the team?
That I can still play in today's game. You know, I can still compete at a high level.
Leka and Demi, firstly, how do you tell them apart? Secondly, how good are they?
One's wider, one's skinnier and faster. But they're both very good and very full of energy, I should say. And Dimitric's obviously the loudest one, and Leka's quiet. So I can hear one coming and I can see one.
You know, I got a lot of respect for the game with NRL and the way we played today. And, you know, we got ourselves to a final, and that's a cool thing.
How did you find your personal performance this season?
I just felt at home. You know, I had a position, it was mine. I got to sort of earn that spot, and I had to sort of work on it week in, week out. And shout out to my left edge. I thought they were awesome this year, and now I was happy.
No, my hooky, my welcome back to League Lounge on Sky Sport. It's so great to have your company. We are celebrating tonight. That is what it is all about. And we have had a look at the boys. It's time to turn our attention now to the Wahine and what they have managed to achieve this season. I'm joined by Monty Betham. Mons, when you look at the season as a whole, maybe the results weren't always there, but the way these women went about their business, the fact that at the start of this season, 75% of those players, when they ran out on the field for the first game, had never played 80 minutes of league. What a breakout season.
Absolutely crazy. To think about that and playing for the first time is one thing, but also now what they've been doing off the park in the communities with these kids, and also what we do on the park means there's a number of girls now who want to be WAS players growing up, just like these girls, and they've been tremendous. Very proud to have them part of our club, and to see what they've been able to do and get better week in, week out is just a, you know, huge up to them all.
Oh, it's fantastic. You and I have got daughters. If you can see it, you can be it. So to have the Wahine in the WAS jersey, it is sensational. So let's have a look at who were the big award winners for them this season. And we start with the Club Woman of the Year. Taisha had an incredible season. Why do you think she's Club Woman of the Year?
Well, I'm hearing, well, there's a number of reasons why she's Club Woman of the Year, but I'm hearing she's one of the fittest human beings out there. You see now she's small in stature. They call her the little human with the biggest voice. And she is the energy provider at training. She always gets the group up. And you get those. Marcella Montoya was one of them. Absolutely. And not only is she one of the professionals that you follow, but she's the person you want to be about. And also TikTok. She goes pretty well on that too.
I am not on TikTok, but I have heard it is the place to be. I must look into it. You on TikTok?
You better make sure she follows you, because then
that'll help
you're
me.
going to get, you know, TikTok famous.
TikTok famous. And those are the kind of awards I'm looking to pick up. Let's have a look at the People's Choice. And this is a great one to win. And Peyton Takimoana has done a great job this season. What is it about her that makes her the People's Choice? for
Well,
2025?
she knows how to score a try. You know, it wasn't the easiest of starts for her at Go Medium Stadium, which was her first game. But since then, she's gone from strength to strength. She's scored 15 tries in a season. Now, she was on the wing for a big part of that, and she can score a try. Express pace, which Ronnie G has spoken about, which means she could even go into that fullback position. When I think about broken field play and what she could do with that pace would be huge. But just even direct runs, hard inside shoulder lines. She is one girl with a big smile, and she deserves to have that because of the breakout season she's had. Everyone across the ditch knows who she is, and that wasn't the case, you know, just a few months ago.
That's pretty cool. I have so much respect for them and what they've managed to achieve. Let's take a look at our next award, and that is the Players Player of the Year. Now, Kaya, another one who has been superb, and I don't know if people... I think they're underestimated in what they've achieved in this season, but as individuals, to come away with this award, what does that tell you about what she's bringing to the club?
Oh, look, she's a wonderful player. She's a local success story. She's from the Richmond Roses. Now, she'd had no experience in the NRLW before, but she's played every minute of every game, and she has played so well. Like, she runs those lines. She's even, when she had to go out into centre and play centre, she did that very, very well indeed. She's got a big smile on her face, and she is another one that just gives you that energy. So effort on effort, and that's something you need to be at that first grade level, is not just happy with what you've done, it's what you do next, what's your next job, what's your next task, and doing it with vigour and in the way she does. And
you know that the Rookie of the Year would have been exactly like that. And you talk about good stock, and it's hardly a surprise we're seeing Ivana here. Geez, she's strong.
Firstly, it's really hard to follow in the footsteps of a club legend that is her dad, Ali Lautiti, the Michael Jordan Rugby League. And to do that, she's a development player, very young. Probably thought she'll get a little bit of game time, but I can say that now she's been lifted to a full-time contract and extended for another year. So a 2-year full-time contract for this young lady, and she's deserved it. At times they've called her the chiropractor because she's put so many shots on. She's come off the bench and she's changed the momentum of a match. She can score a try, she's hard to contain, and to think that these are only her early years and she's going to be so much better for that experience out there in the NRLW. She is going to be one of the future, and we mentioned the young guys in pathways getting better and what that's going to do for the top side. When they do get a pathways, this side's going to go from strength to strength.
Does she hit harder than her old man, do we think?
Well, I did say that in rehearsals, and I think that's the case, Ali. And I will say that live again, because she can put a shot on and score a try, even though her old man could score a try.
Yeah, he certainly could, but we're going to clip that up and put that on TikTok and make sure that that does the rounds for sure. And we finish off, of course, with the Player of the Year for our Wahine and their captain, Api'i Nichols. I mean, you need leaders. You need strong leaders when you have so much of your team that are new to the environment, new to the game, and she has delivered over and over again.
In bucket loads, she is a leader. She is warrior number 2. She's one of the OGs, but yet she's still going so strong. The leadership that she has, and just, you know, puts herself forward for a girl. She is selfless. She can score tries, but she often stops tries as well. And, you know, even on the weekend without Patricia Maliepo there, she was kicking goals. She was kicking long as well, a huge leader. And, you know, if you think she's protecting us out there out on the force, she's doing the same thing in protecting her girls. This team has got great connection and wonderful leaders across the place, and, you know, she's probably the tip of the spear in what she does for this side. She's a legend.
Could we see her name on that award in years to come, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think Api'i Nichols is just a fine servant of the game, and, you know, as an ex-player of the club and just loving the club for so long, players like that with that mana just give you that sort of good feeling about the club in the future and where they're going, and then just in the hands of the community too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited for their second season, that is for sure. And it's time now for our Forward fan question. And the question for you, Monty Betham, is: have the NRL turned a blind eye because of who he is in terms of Reece Walsh's potential suspension, or not, as the case is for finals footy?
Well, I just think if it's Nelson and Solomon are doing that, it's not going to be the same way. I understand that it's Reece Walsh and we're one of our best players on the field, and what he's been doing the last 2 weeks has shown that like, he is brilliant. He is up there with the best players in the competition. But, you know, to get a penalty when you throw a headbutt, when someone's celebrating a moment in the game, I think it's nuts. I think it's crazy. But I do want him to play, though.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see
wanna
what's
see him
going to
play.
happen because, of course, there.
But he's a protected species.
Oh, is he? What? He drinks all that toilet water. That's what it's about. Well, Monty, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you so much for your company here on League Lounge. A big thank you to our sponsors, Forward, Purcell, and of course, Dad's Pies. You guys have a fabulous rest of your week. Up the Waz. We'll see you soon.